I'm joining you from outside with a jacket on. We are trying to get our outside time in this morning. It's a little bit chilly. I have decided that I think the amount of groceries I'm gonna have to order this week is gonna be too overwhelming for me to shop in the store with kids along. So I think I'm just gonna make an extra trip to Aldi. I think it'll be worth it for my sanity to just do a mobile pickup and do it that way. The Aldi that we normally go to doesn't yet have mobile pickup, which is a real bummer. So I might try to get it scheduled for today. But anyway, kids are playing outside and I am just going to set up my yard chair. It actually feels really good in the sun. So I'm just gonna set up my yard chair and work on my Instacart grocery order while I'm sitting outside.
Some more pita chips.
That was all we had.
What are these, Mommy?
So we are just having a little snack lunch charcuterie board next to the fireplace.
It's on the TV.
Yeah, it is on the
You
TV.
can tell.
Yep. All right, we have moved on to making paper snowflakes as part of our little advent cards. Abram, hold your first one up. Abram's first one looks amazing. My first one could use some work. I'm not really sure what happened. I thought Abram and I followed the same technique, but his looks much better. I can see it. Let's see what happens.
At first out, it looks. Who did these? Who did mine? Is mine bigger than yours?
What do you think of this one?
Let me do it.
I told you guys in the last video that I was working on a project with those larger glass jars. So I used to organize our dried goods in our previous house in jars. And I think I'm gonna go back to that and see how I like it. So here they are. We spent the morning just cleaning out the pantry. Oh my goodness, we threw away so many things that just weren't being used, were expired, had gotten forgot about. This cabinet is pretty deep, and so honestly the things that are back there never get accessed. So I just took, I've got 6 of these jars, and I just filled them with dried goods that we use regularly. So we have jasmine rice, we have quick cooking brown rice, like instant brown rice. We have rolled oats, brown sugar, flour, and white sugar. And then this is homemade granola, and these are chocolate chips. And so what I did is actually back behind is where I put the refills. So if there was anything extra that wouldn't fit in the jars, I just stuck it back there and I put it directly behind what it will refill. And I'm hoping that that will be a good system. And then up above, I just put some things that I didn't have enough jars for. That's, you know, different type of oats, some grits. And then over here is candy, different type of sugar right there, and different type of sugar there. But I really should have taken a before, because, oh, it just looks, it looks so much better. And I love how when these will be out on the counter for cooking, they will look better. I do need a suggestion though. How should I label these, just in case I forget, you know, like what's in one of them? Right now it's not a big deal, but if I had a different type of flour or something, for the time being I had just stuck these just on top, but they're not going to stay. They're just sticky notes. So tell me how you guys think I should label these. I mean, I could just write write on the lid, or I could get a label maker. I also did organize this bottom portion, and I thought it might be fun to share since we are in the season of prepping food and taking food places. So up here at the top, this is like peanut butter, Nutella, and other types of chips that aren't those main chocolate chips. And then there's some melting chocolate back there. There's some pudding mixes and Jell-O mixes. And then this is just kind of various baking things. So there's just all different things here. This is the shelf that changed the most in the organization process as far as this lower part, if you exclude the jars project. And it's probably what I'm most excited about just because of the upcoming season. So I took all of the prepackaged treats and things that we might use for a charcuterie board, and I put them all right here, and then the few things that wouldn't fit, I just stuck them right here. So this has been constant ever since we started packing lunches for school, and we don't do a lot of prepackaged things, but anything prepackaged goes in here, and I keep it pretty well in there. But then I emptied our holiday M&Ms out into this jar, and then like I said, anything that I think I might use for a treat or a charcuterie board or when we have people over, all of that stuff is in here. So we have a few different kinds of nuts. These from Aldi are fantastic. We've got these garlic and onion pistachios from Trader Joe's. I don't even need to say it, you guys know. Here's the peppermint one that I mentioned the other day. Some white fudge Oreos. Also these, if you're doing a charcuterie board over the Christmas season, my friend introduced me to these last Christmas, and they are so delicious. So that's a little tip. Aldi has like a charcuterie end cap or something like that. But anyway, so all of that stuff is all nicely grouped together. The bottom places pretty much stayed the same. I just kind of did a little bit of organizing. So there's some pasta here, there's bread, other grains, and then here are all of the canned goods and broth, things like that. And then down here we just have cereal, crackers, kind of crunchy snacks, and then potatoes and sweet potatoes. And I am just really pleased with how everything feels. And there is just a little bit of extra room, which is good because I placed my Aldi order. They said that it's available for pickup. So I don't think I even mentioned, I think I mentioned that I was doing some quality time days with my nieces. I did 2 of them last week and it was so fun. And so my sister said, would your kids want to do something with us? And I said, sure, probably. So they have gone magnet fishing. Never done that before, but they have gone magnet fishing, and then they are going to get dinner and go to a local lights show. I showed it last year or the year before in my Christmas vlog videos. So they have them for the evening. So I'm gonna try to use my time, and I'm going to go pick up those groceries, and then I'm gonna come home, make a little something quick for dinner, and try not to spend too much time on that because I'd like to get some wrapping done. Also, when I got back from dropping the kids off and switching over the car seats and all of that, I went by the thrift store and I got a couple of things. It's nothing big, but I do have like a small thrift haul, so I will show you guys that. So it is Thursday now. Our plans kind of changed a little bit this week. I actually got sick, which is kind of rare. I don't get sick very much, but I got sick. We were supposed to have some family over and have a Home Alone movie night on Tuesday night and order pizza, and I was gonna do like Home Alone movie trivia, and we're just gonna have to move that. I think today I feel the best that I have felt. I decided to do like a social media fast today. Just, you know, sometimes you get in a rut and it just feels like you've been spending a lot of time doing nothing. And so I just decided, I was kind of inspired to do that, and it's just funny how much more productive you are when you're not just scrolling through stuff. So so that's been good. If nieces are watching this, again, don't think you are, but if you are, you gotta click off. I worked on my Christmas present for my niece. If you watched my video about thrifted gifts, you saw that I had a dress that needed to be hemmed, and so I got that done this morning. So I'll pan over and show you that. Also, a sweet family from church just brought us a whole load of food. So for lunch, I had chicken orzo soup that they made, and it was delicious. I don't know that I've really had orzo very much, and it's very good. So they brought us that. They brought us a pasta dish for supper. They brought us some baguettes to go with that. And then they brought us a few dessert things. So I washed out that glass cake cover that stays kind of in the center of our table. And it had banana muffins in it, so I just wanted to make sure that it didn't still smell or taste like bananas. And then they had made us pumpkin bread and brownies. So I'll show you, I put those in there. And I'm also adding some greenery and taking some away. The pine has gotten really brown, so I went ahead and removed that, and I'm just gonna put some new Christmas tree material around it. But yeah, it's been a really good day. It's been a slow day, and I think it's good for my mind to do a project like that. I was working with my sewing machine, which I'm a very amateur sewer, and I realized that I was threading it wrong. Like I was wrapping it around the part that you like do to wind a bobbin. Anyway, I don't know if this makes sense, but the thing that was messing me up was the way I was winding it. So I fixed it, and then I hemmed the whole dress, which involved 3 separate layers, and it went really well. So I'm gonna go in there and show you that dress, and then I don't know what I'm gonna do now actually. I've got a load of laundry going, and I've done the dishes, and the kids have just really for the most part been playing nicely today, which I so appreciate. I think the rest of today I'm going to do a craft project with the kids and read, and then just kind of rest, because that's what I need to do right now. As I said, I'm an amateur, so it's not a perfect job, and on this bottom layer it would have been nice if I'd had thread that was the matching color, but honestly I think it's one of those things that unless you're looking for it, you're not really going to notice. So I actually there's this little panel here that has like 3 layers, and so I went to the sides here and I took my seam ripper and undid all of that, so that way I could trim each of these layers separately. So you've got this top layer with the snowflakes, and then you have this shimmery layer, and then there's the blue layer underneath. So I trimmed them all separately, hemmed them all separately, and then tacked them back together here on the sides. Again, it's not a perfect job, but there's no wear on the bottom. It looks so much better than it did. So I hope that it fits her, and I hope she loves it. I'll show you guys once I get it all wrapped up. All right, so I told you guys I would show you what I got at the thrift store. So my younger sister needs to now look away if she is watching this. So I bought this ornament for her because she loves classic Winnie the Pooh. So this is it. It's a little more yellow than it's showing up on camera, but it is just so precious. It's that classic Winnie the Pooh look. But as you can tell, it does have fraying right here, which I'm not going to give it to her like that. So at first I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Well, doing that dress has just made me feel a little more confident in my sewing skills. So I think I'm just going to snip this where the hat attaches to where I can get to this. And I just bought lots of beautiful ribbon. So I'm going to snip this off and replace it with a different one. So we are having a little coffee and tea time. So I did end up replacing the greenery. I took it all away and I put some fresh greenery out. I did keep some of the cedar because it didn't look too bad. We got a candle going, and then here are the sweets that our friends brought us. So Got pumpkin bread and brownies.
Brownies that are shaped like Christmas tree lights.
Yep, I think those are Christmas tree lights.
Well, if you stand this way, they look like a tree.
That's true. And then I've got a couple magazines here. Everybody can look at one if they'd like to. So we're just gonna have this, and then we're gonna enjoy some quiet time and watch a Christmas movie, I think. Good morning. I have my cup of hot chocolate here, and I am getting a craft ready for the kids. I saw this week, maybe on Instagram somewhere before I took my little kind of social media fast, which I'm continuing today because it's just been nice. I'm gonna cut this into two so the kids each have one. Basically the idea is that you freestyle a little loopy line and you draw some rectangles on it, and then from there you cut a toilet paper tube and kind of bend it into a Christmas light bulb shape, and I think I'll need two hands to do it. But then you hot glue those on there and then have them paint each bulb whatever color they want. So I thought that might be fun. So I've got my hot glue gun heating up, and I've got two little toilet paper tubes here. So I'm gonna sip on my hot chocolate and get this going.
Jolly old Saint Nicholas, lean your ear this way. Don't you tell a single soul what I'm going to say. Christmas Eve is coming soon. Now are you, dear old man? Whisper what you'll bring to me. Tell me if you can. When the clock is striking 12, when I'm fast asleep, down the chimney.
Kids are watching a Mickey Christmas movie, so if you hear some background noise, that's what that is. I may have shared this before, but I keep our Play-Doh and our Play-Doh supplies underneath the sink, and the reason is because we have a rule in our house that we only use Play-Doh in the kitchen. And then I just got these from Dollar Tree, and each of them has one and they know which is theirs. So anytime we do painting, you can see these have been painted on. Anytime we do Play-Doh, we just put these down, and then that kind of provides a space to do it, and there's kind of a boundary where the paint or the Play-Doh stays. So that's just a little practical and home organization tip. So we just keep all this stuff right here, and then when they want to play with it, they can get it out. We are having some outside time, and it's just amazing to me what a difference it makes. Like adding 10 degrees or even 8 degrees and having the sun out. The past 2 days here have just been dreary, yucky, and outside play is so good for us. And you know, not feeling the best, I've just not wanted to play outside. But I was like, today we're doing it, and I looked outside, you know, and saw that the sun was shining, and it is just such a nice day. I think the temperature is like 45 degrees, but it feels really good in the sun. So we are just gonna hang out here, honestly, as long as we can, and then go inside and prepare some lunch. I might bring my Advent book out here and read. We have this little book from church. We've done them the past few years. It's something that John Piper puts out, and they're like a daily devotional, and they're very short, very doable. Somehow I always manage to get behind, and I am behind, and that's okay. But today is the day that I'd like to close the gap, so that instead of reading multiple days, I can just read that one and focus on those thoughts. Today is December 16th, and I think that I'm maybe on the 12th right now. So 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I think I have 5 days of reading left. And like I said, they're very short, so it's doable. So I'm gonna set up my chair and do that. Okay, so today is Sunday. We are back from church and we are getting ready to head out to a Christmas party in just a little bit back at church. And I've got a few different things that I'm going to make. I'm going to make a crock pot of homemade hot chocolate. I'm going to make a batch of my sister's cut out sugar cookies. And then I'm going to make this pull apart Christmas tree like twist bread. I got that recipe off the Tasty app, and this will be my first time making it. But if you don't have the Tasty app, it's a really fun one. It's all those like cooking videos that you see on social media, and it's just a whole app of that. And you can search by ingredient, you can search by main course or appetizer or dessert, whatever. You can also search by theme. So if you go on there and search by a certain holiday, that's how I found the pumpkin that I did for this year's pumpkin carving party. I don't remember if I shared that on YouTube or if I just shared it on Instagram, but we did a pumpkin that was vomiting guacamole. So this is a little less grotesque than that, but I'm very excited. Half of it is filled with basil pesto and the other half is filled with spinach. You cut the little breadsticks and twist them. So I'm gonna go in there and just put my hair up, put my earbuds in, and just kind of get in the groove. Okay, well, we are back from the party. We had such a good time. And I had really planned on filming more of my food prep. And, you know, sometimes when you like think you can handle everything, and then you realize, oh, I picked kind of difficult recipes to do, and I picked multiple recipes to do and only allowed myself an hour to do it. So yeah, I definitely didn't, I didn't think through everything that I was making and all of the steps. And then I was making the sugar cookie recipe, which I've made before, not a lot, but I have made it before. And I read 2 sticks of butter. So I let them soften. I'm putting everything together and it's just really crumbly and my mixer is having a hard time. And I was like, why is this not working? It was acting almost like pie crust. It's like, what is going on? And I thought, let me just double check. Well, I read 2 sticks of butter. It's 2 cups of butter, 4 sticks. And so I was like, well, I don't have any more time to start over. Plus, I don't want to waste all these ingredients. It makes a lot of cookies. So I just melted or softened a couple more sticks of butter and added them in. And slowly but surely, it came together and it was the consistency that it was supposed to be. And the cookies turned out fine. And then everything else turned out fine. I made a triple batch of hot chocolate and it was a huge hit. The whole thing got gone. So that was probably the best thing that I took, I would say, and the easiest. So it's so funny sometimes, like sometimes cooking is just such a lesson in expectation versus reality. And in like sometimes we have these things built up in our head that are going to be like the best things. And then the best thing is just like hot chocolate. I've mentioned that recipe before, but if you're new here or if you haven't seen me share that before, it's just a can of evaporated milk, a 1/4 cup of cocoa, a cup of sugar, and 4 cups of water. And that's it. And you just combine it in a saucepan. I whisk it to get out the clumps of cocoa. And then once it is starting to like steam on the stove, you know that it's ready. And a restaurant served hot cocoa to me one time with whipped cream and cinnamon, and it just kind of stuck. And so that's the way that I like to drink it now. But then I also put out marshmallows, and you know, you could do the whole hot chocolate bar thing, and I might do that sometime. That might be kind of fun. But anyway, that's the recipe we use. So with that, I'm going to call it a vlog. I did want to ask you guys what your opinion is. There are several things I want to share in the upcoming week, and I don't know how to share them all, if I'm going to get to them all. I definitely want to prioritize the time with my family. So the things that were on my mind, other than just normal vlogging Christmas moments, were a Christmas home tour, what I'm getting my kids as far as presents, what I'm getting my kids as far as stockings. So those were the things that were kind of on my mind. So just let me know in the comments if any of those are of particular interest to you. With that, I'm going to sign off here. We've got the kitchen back to a somewhat manageable state after me tearing it apart earlier, trying to save the cookies and make that spinach dip stuffed bread thing. So anyway, I am going to go finish editing, and then I am going to hit the hay. So I hope you guys are doing awesome. I hope you know that you are important and you are loved, and I appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you in the next one.